Have you ever asked yourself how much your time is worth per hour? Now, if your job is to be going out there and demonstrating your capability, your expertise, and to get more business, are you worth $10 an hour, $50, $100, $1,000? Have a real careful think about what you are actually worth per hour. Because then we know what our days are actually worth, and therefore what we need to stop exchanging our time for. We do business the slow and traditional way far too often. Now, I don't know about you, but one of the things that really frustrates me is when people say, hey, can we go for a coffee and catch up? Now, while I'm not an antisocial person, and I'm more than happy to do that outside of work, when people are asking for my time for no other reason than to pick my brain and catch up, I actually have to say to them, I'm really sorry, but unless you are interested in buying my products or services during work time, if you want to have coffee with me, that's $2,000 an hour. Or $1,000 an hour, whatever it is that you charge. You have to know what your time is actually worth, and you need to ask yourself for every single thing you do, is this a worthy exchange of return on investment? If it's not, you either need to get rid of it and say no or put it in the bin, or delegate it to an assistant or a subcontractor or an employee, because it's something you shouldn't be spending your time on if it doesn't have that ROI. One of the things I noticed when I first started moving into authority positioning was that being a training and education company, the majority of what I sold was physical services. As in, I had to be present to give my knowledge, to give my expertise, to put together tailored programs for my clients and customers, which left me in a situation where I was literally exchanging my time for money. And that was hard because as I began to value my time more, I had to put higher costs upon my customers. But also it still meant, regardless of what cost I put per hour, I was still capping my income because there are only so many hours in a day. So what we need to ask ourselves as authority experts, particularly if we have service-based businesses, is how can we turn our services into products? Because products can be scaled, i.e. we can print tons of them and tons of them and tons of them, and they can sell off the shelves, and we can just keep manufacturing more often than not on autopilot. So how can you turn your service into a product? Now, for me in training, clearly I invested some time, as you can see now, in doing online courses. That's meant that I have reduced the amount of time that I do one-on-one coaching calls, because I say, hey, how about you watch my video instead? It also means that hundreds and thousands of people can log into this training at whatever time it suits them without me having to travel anywhere or be physically present and exchange my time for it. It may be that you create some kind of checklist or video series or how-to guide. It may be that you have some self-qualification process. Instead of you going out to meet the customer and have that initial meeting with all the small talk to only find out that actually they don't suit your products and services. Perhaps you can automate that qualification questionnaire where they have to answer a bunch of questions before you actually go and do the face-to-face meeting to make sure that neither of your times are being wasted. Another question to ask yourself is, does a human need to do this? Now, you may be very surprised by the amount of online software and tools that are available out there, mostly free, that can do a huge amount of tasks for you that humans may be doing for you at the moment, or maybe that you're doing yourself. There is a lot of things out there that you can automate, and that word is huge, and it will change your life if you start looking into more automation tips. Again, I have an online course on productivity and automation if you'd like to start automating your life too to save more time. And again, where you do have to see your customers face-to-face, which as an authority in your field, you will have to do. You simply can't get away from that. Try to, as much as possible, make sure that you're doing one-to-many presentations, i.e. try and reduce the one-on-ones that you're doing and put on regular webinars, put on face-to-face workshops, put on group training sessions so that you can bring as many of your audience together as possible in one go so that they can can get all the information, they can see you, experience you, like and trust you, and then if they're interested in buying from you, you can then offer them the one-on-one consultation or the one-on-one meeting or coffee or whatever it is you want to do, so that you are only spending that one-on-one time with people who actually are ready to pay and ready to buy from you.